Hi, today I'd like to talk about admitting to other people around you that you have Asperger's. I think that there is a change that's taken place over the last few years where people have heard of autism. One of the films, I think, because I think media really drives people's opinions on things. And by media I mean everything from film to newspapers and radio. And one of the films which kind of put autism on the map was Rain Man, which is a film from the late 80s. The problem with Rain Man is that the autistic character, Raymond, is a savant. The trouble is that obviously not everybody who's autistic is like that. Everybody is very different. People have started to feel that they are able to tell those around them that they're autistic. One of the sort of, I suppose, traits of Asperger's I have is hypersensitivity. Hypersensitivity is when you're hypersensitive to sensory information. So, you know, if all the information is kind of coming in twice, if you like, or coming in at twice the volume. And that causes problems because most people, including neurological typical people, have a threshold of how much information that they can take in. So, for example, most people don't want to stand next to a police car while a siren is going off, which is understandable because after a few minutes your ears start to ring. And that's kind of a normal threshold. But for people with Asperger's or anybody on the spectrum who's hypersensitive, that threshold is often much lower. And if you know somebody who's autistic, you can often assign sounds or stimuli. For me, it's sound that's the most important one, but for other people it will certainly be different. But you can assign a point score, if you like. You can say, well, their threshold is 20, and then you can assign point scores to the sounds around them, and you can almost predict when sensory overload is going to happen. Which obviously, for me, I'm hypersensitive to sound, and one of the sounds I can't stand is fire alarms. Now, a normal fire alarm normally alternates between 2 notes or more, but the fire alarm in my halls of residence just has 1 note, which is fine for me. It's when they've got 2 or more notes that I can't handle it. And when I was at school, they did know that I had Asperger's, and when I told them, or rather my parents told them, their reaction was, when I started to cry and get really upset because I was overloaded, they'd just take me back into the building, which obviously creates a health and safety risk. But also, it creates, it makes it worse for me because, I'm crying because of this noise and you've just taken me nearer the noise. We went out the building to get away from the noise. And so, had they had the information, had they had the Think Differently campaign, maybe they would have behaved differently. And I hope that this information you guys can use to help the autistics that are in your life.